The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Bill was away last week. He was at schoolies, and so it was just Cliff and I at home. So I thought, I don't usually put too much effort into my dinners because I hate cooking. But
Could you go into your emergencies? No.
we did use an emergency over the weekend.
Oh.
Emergency is the meals that Cliff's cooked. He cooked all these meals.
What is it? Chili
Butter
con
chicken.
carne?
No, bolognese, butter chicken and eggplant parmigiana. He's cooked about 42 meals. We're only allowed to pull them out and defrost them if it's an emergency.
So why was it an emergency?
Over the weekend, it was
Wow.
the day. Well, this is off my story. But on Sunday, when we got back from Hamilton Island yesterday, there was no food, so we had an emergency bolognese. Yep. Anyway, when he was away last week, I did put some effort into cooking, and I cooked a pork chop.
Sorry, when he was away last week.
Bill was away last week, and it was just Cliff and I at home.
Right.
I cooked a pork chop, roast vegetables, and an apple sauce. It was beautiful with a bit of mayonnaise. Sriracha mayonnaise. Do you guys get that? It's a flavoured mayonnaise in the Japanese section.
They come in the with the
Sriracha.
little red cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the cube. Is that the Kewpie?
Kewpie mayonnaise.
Yeah, we go that.
You get sriracha and you can get, what's the one with the green stuff? That's
Wasabi.
Really hot? Wasabi mayonnaise and also normal.
When you say vegetables,
Yes. None of this is relevant, but yes.
oh, it's relevant. Well, you said you made a great meal. Is it like, are they just frozen? Like, what do you do with them?
No. I just roast vegetables. So I get potatoes, sweet potato, and I just chop them
Oh,
up.
so
and-
it's from scratch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I put
I've never done that in my life.
oil and
What?
salt and pepper.
Oh, I just get frozen veggies and just chuck them in the... I don't
you
even
know
what
what?
I chuck them in. To be
The
honest. What-
microwave.
Microwave, I
Well,
guess.
you know what? When we're actually swimmers, this
I put it to you, you haven't eaten vegetables in quite a while. And you
I can't remember the last time I had a vegetable. Honest, it'd be when I accidentally go to Norse and they get the veggies instead of the salad. That would have been the last time I've had a vegetable.
No, but they did actually tell us when we were swimmers that frozen vegetables are just as good for you as from scratch.
Okay.
If you want to eat vegetables, just get the frozen ones.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he doesn't even know what he throws it in, even when he
Yes.
imaginarily eats it.
I didn't know what it goes into.
Anyway, so I fried up the pork chop on the barbecue. I do that in the barbecue. It's nice and hot, and a bit came off, and that bit of the fat comes off, and it's really like crunchy and stuff. And I remember I was so proud. I plated it up. I had the roast vegetables. I had the pork. I gave Cliff the special little crunchy bit that was off on the barbecue. You know, the bit that everyone wants.
Yeah.
What do
The
you-
chef's delight.
Chef's delight.
When it
yeah.
falls off, you're like, yeah, it's mine. I'm cooking. I get that.
And a bit of apple sauce, and Cliff was eating it. I was really proud of it. He took a bite of that chef's delight, the crunchy bit. He's just chewing it. He pulls it out of his mouth.
Never a good thing when you got to pull it out.
He goes, I don't think this is pork fat. You know what it was? It was a Christmas beetle. It was a Christmas beetle that had ended up on the barbecue. Jar.
What?
And I just thought, well, because it was dark out where our barbecue is, I don't know, I thought it was the
You
the
thought it was
crackle,
like a
the
bit
pork
of...
fat that came off the pork chop.
So you put it back on.
I just put it on his plate. I plated it up and gave him the special, what I thought was pork fat, and it was a Christmas beetle.
What? The Christmas beetle had wandered onto the barbecue.
It must have flown down, landed on the barbecue and fried, or it must have been on there originally. No, it must have
Probably would have been just there.
Is the Christmas beetle that big black thing?
Yeah.
That, it's
Big black crispy thing.
It was black when I saw it. But
We're not sure what colour it was when it started.
in my mind, the Christmas beetle
It's
is
like a
purpley.
mini rhino or something. It's got like a
Yeah, that's a Christmas
Is that,
beetle.
Which is the one that's got the purple back? The purple shimmering back.
Don't say it was a lady beetle.
No, it wasn't a lady beetle.
That's a Christmas beetle.
Yeah, it's shimmering back.
Yeah, but that's the same as what he's saying.
Yeah,
It's got
but with the
a rhino
rhinoceros
kind of
head.
thing. Yeah, that's it.
It's
Anyway.
not actually, but anyway.
Yeah.
But he ate that.
Oh.
It's got quite a shell.
He took a bite of it and he took it out of his mouth. He did.
Was he
go to it.
calm?
He was calm. He's a very calm person. I try
That's
to
a
have
very
bites with
calm
him.
moment for him to go, oh, I think I've got a Christmas beetle
I've just
there.
eaten a Christmas.
From that you've served up.
He's very polite. He
He
just put
is.
it inside of his plate and kept eating. Isn't he nice? Actually, I should be happy that I've got a husband like that.
You should be.
Okay, not
You're
complaining
not.
so much.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I had a good break.
Did you?
I went on a surf trip to Indonesia. We were on like a traditional wooden Indonesian boat. There was 8 of us, so 6 boys and 2 girls, and we're all living in a dormitory, like a bunk bed thing. It was probably about, how big was that?
I saw the video of it. It
Yeah,
looked like
3 metres by, anyway,
it was pretty. It was tight.
3 metres.
It was tight.
tight.
All
Toit,
sleeping in the same cabin.
Yeah, all in the same cabin in bunk beds. And then one toilet with a shower over the top of it. You know those ones? Not that I even used it. We just had showers out on the deck.
Oh, there was an outdoor shower thing.
Yeah, and then just went surfing all day and had stayed in the boat. But it was fun. But one day we stopped off. There was no surf, and we stopped off at a resort that also owns Latitude Zero, that also owns this boat, which was called the Mangalui. And we went in for there was a nice pool there and a gazebo and stuff for a couple of drinks. And the first person we sat down next to, his name was Rob, and he listens to the show, actually. Hi, Rob, from the Gold Coast. And he was over there by himself. He was having a holiday because they just take you in boats each day and you go surfing, so you can kind of go by yourself. And he was turning 59 the next day. It was his birthday. And he was like, oh, it's my birthday. I need to buy you guys some drinks. And so he started buying us margaritas.
Yeah.
They were so strong. Anyway, we all had... Basically, long story short, Rob and the crew of 8 of us, we all had all these drinks at this resort. We went back to the boat. And on the boat, we thought it would be a fun idea to start climbing up the mast and jumping off the mast.
Oh, dear.
Which was about 10 metres to the water.
10 metres?
Yep.
Oh,
For real?
Yep, I can show you a photo of it.
That's a little bit dangerous,
It was a
Susan.
bit dangerous. But it was fun. But I didn't jump off the mast. In fact, I had so many drinks, I went to bed and I was...
That's like the 10 metre platform.
That's
for
massive.
diving.
Yeah, that's
have you ever,
a long,
have you ever
long
stood at the
way.
top of that, Buzz?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Have you ever jumped off it?
No way.
Neither have I.
Nope.
We
Yeah.
jumped
Nope.
off the 5 metre once. Remember that? That was pretty
enough.
nerve-wracking as well.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't planning on jumping it off, but I went into bed because I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to hide down in the little cabin and pull the blanket over me and go to sleep. Anyway, Cliff comes down, my husband. Oh, everyone knows Cliff. And he goes, everyone's jumping off the mast. You got to come up and watch it. The surf guy's actually taken all his clothes off and he's climbed up naked.
Well, you'd jumped out of that, wouldn't you?
That's what I
You were on deck in no time.
So I was like, I better come up and watch this. And I went up in my pajamas because I put on my boxers and my singlet. And so we watched him jump off. He had so many tattoos, even on his butt.
I mean, I can't imagine jumping off a 10 metre platform nude is good for certain,
Parts.
extremities, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. Well, I know it wouldn't have been because then after he jumped off, my friend Ali, there was one other girl on the boat, she started climbing up the mast. You climb up, you can sort of go, you got 2 handles, so it's not too bad. And then she started climbing up and so everyone's like, you got to go, Suze, as well. You're the only other girl, whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, peer pressure. Anyway, and so I'm in
What, the whole way up?
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas. And so I start climbing, following her up.
In your pajamas?
Yeah, well, it's just boxes and singlet.
Okay.
And then I just didn't... Anyway, so I climbed. It was scary. Like, I was packing
Did you go all the way to the
I
top?
went to the top, and then when you get to
There's
the
no way
top,
I would do that.
it's hard to...
no.
Well, the bit that we jumped off was not at the top of the mast. It was where the wooden thing goes across.
Yep.
Whatever you call that.
Yeah.
But right at the top, it was really hard to get to the wooden thing because there was no handle. You had to hang on to a light. Honestly, I was crapping myself. It was so nerve-wracking.
And would you have to jump over
Exactly, the boat.
type of
Yeah.
thing? Like if you fell, you fall onto the deck.
Yeah, well, no, when then you
Of the
walk,
boat?
then you walk across these platforms and you get over the boat. But that was my biggest concern. Ash was landing onto the deck. So what I did is I tried to jump out, and as a consequence, yes, I landed on my side. I've got the biggest bruise down the side of my leg.
Oh, God.
If I could take my pants off and show you, which I can't.
Sweet, I go for your
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
My daughter is turning 20 next week. You know what she asked for her birthday present? And I thought it was an odd thing that all the kids are getting back into. I think I told you off air.
baggy jeans.
Oh, the baggy jeans thing's weird. So they're all wearing... So Alex is wearing my husband's old jeans from back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's why you told me that.
Tim
yeah.
Blackwell's thrown us a bit with that, hasn't he? I was saying they're in and skinny jeans aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
Skinny jeans are out. The jean fashion changing really ages you. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But Alex really wanted a digital camera. So remember when phones came in, iPhones? I used to have a digital camera. I actually threw it out.
What's the point? Just cool.
Well, apparently it's really cool. Everyone, because when I went to buy it, I went into the electronics shop and said, I'm looking for a digital camera. And she goes, oh, yeah, I got them here because everyone's buying them, coming in to buy them, all the kids. They want them so they can fit in their pocket. They're really light. They're smaller than your hand.
So it's a
But
mobile phone.
That's exactly right.
I know.
They do exactly the same as a
You're
phone.
describing a mobile phone.
But
but not as good as a phone.
The key difference is the quality is worse.
Yeah.
Which is why they want it.
Oh, so they want that sort of...
they want a...
What's the gravel in it?
Yeah, like a worse...
Grainy look.
A worse quality photo.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
It's not one of those old, like, shake
Which
like
there's
a
a filter
Polaroid
for it.
picture.
Yeah.
Not Polaroid, no. And
No,
not,
it's just a, click and...
and you get an SD card. Remember the SD card?
Sure, you can
Like a
Bluetooth
disc?
them to your phone.
No, you get an SD card.
That's
And then you get a cord that goes to your phone that you put the SD card into the other end of the cord and it downloads it to your phone. It's old school.
Seems so practical. Oh, that's old. I love how that's old school now. Like
Yeah.
that's old school. No, old school is like give.
Yeah.
Why don't you give her some?
A film one.
Yeah, like a thing of Kodak
In a dark room.
Yeah.
Have a dark room at your house where she has to go in there with all that liquid and stuff and
That's
hang them up with pegs.
Yeah.
That's old school.
That is true. But the one talking
And
about...
no smiling in photos.
Oh, yeah, because they hold it for
really old
about
school.
2 hours, don't they?
But you weren't allowed. Yeah, that's why you couldn't smile.
Yeah.
In the old time.
I mean, get her one of those like real fancy cameras so that she doesn't have to wind it on herself. Like after,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it automatically will sort of.
But I have also got a film camera just the other day too. It's called, someone sent it to me. Michael Klim sent it to me actually, the swimmer. It's called Snap, SNAAP, and it came with, it looked like a camera, just a normal camera with film.
Yeah.
Which I like the idea of, except do you know how much it costs to get your film processed
How much?
these days? I think it's
I don't
like $35 probably, or $40. So who's
To
going
what
to do
end?
that?
Like, what do you want? Why?
Snap.
Oh, you'd love it because the photos are really bad on it.
And you can't,
There's filters that do that.
you
on
can't
the phone.
delete them. You can't delete them. You have to, get them all.
Yeah, well, once you press click,
That's
that's
it.
what comes out at.
That's it. You can't look at it
Kmart.
and change it and stuff. Yeah.
You go to Kmart still to get them done, or
I don't think
Camera
so.
shop?
No, go to a camera shop. But I bought this digital camera. It wasn't cheap,
laborious.
I've got to say, for a digital camera.
How much?
I mean, well, she's going to listen. It was over $200.
oh my goodness,
That's a lot, isn't it? For a thing that your phone, which you can already do. But anyway, she's going to be happy, and it's going to be a big surprise for her.
but these photos will end up still on Instagram.
Back on her phone, but worse
Oh,
quality.
no, on Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
Oh my god, that's the most pointless thing I've ever heard in my life. But you're right. I've seen a lot of them around lately.
Yeah, you look for the grainy photos. They've all got the digital cameras.
Or filter on iPhone.
Yeah.
Grainy filter.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.